And
Welcome back
back.
to the Deep Cut Fandom podcast. I hope you all enjoyed that little video of whatever I put in because I know I'm going to put in some random shit in between.
Yeah.
And we're still talking about Transformers. So
Yeah,
let's
there was
start
so
off
much
with,
news, man.
Target.
Yup.
Target has a 4-pack and it is fantabulous. I love it. I ordered it at
Yeah.
like 4 o'clock in the morning the other day.
Yeah. But yeah, here's my thing. When we first heard about it, we just heard it as like a blurb. And the thing that shocked I was wondering about, I mean, granted, we find out what it was, but during the time of speculation, I kept saying to myself, who we're gonna get 2 prime repaints in one box.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna be the Devastation Optimus for Nemesis Prime,
Yeah.
and the what do you call it?
Is it the
What do we call
Earthrise?
this?
Is it a retool of the Earthrise or is it a retool of the Stereo Series for Devastation?
It's an original mold.
Oh, it is? Okay,
Devastation.
I didn't know that.
The Optimus Prime that's based on the Devastation design. That's an original mold.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well,
and then I knew that Legacy Deluxe Prime was going to be in there,
yeah.
but it's just
Yeah, I had a
it's
feeling the Ultra Magnus was going to be the Legacy one. That
Yep.
100%. I knew that.
But
These two, well, we kind of knew with the bumper. It was just a matter of which mold, but you totally called it because if I remember correctly, you called it. You're like, it's going to be a Studio Series. I have to say though, I don't like that they didn't really change anything but the head.
Right. But
like,
do you own the
tiny ass picture? But
yeah?
They went with the head and it just changed.
Well, let me ask you this: Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this: Do you own the mold?
This Studio Series?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. I love it.
Oh, okay.
It's great. I just wish they changed like the front bumper part to look more like the Mazda that he's supposed to be.
Yes. I think they did that on purpose.
Still kind of looks like a Beetle half-breed sort of thing,
Yeah, like some kind of hybrid of sorts.
Yeah, and like this Nemesis Prime is like totally left field. I mean, I love it. I think this is a great Optimus mold.
Yep.
I'm just blown away that they chose to do the animated version of Nemesis Prime. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this showing up in like a BotCon comic or something.
Yeah.
Or not even.
But if I'm not
BotCon
mistaken,
doesn't even do that anymore. But like.
Right.
Yeah, like if BotCon still had the license, I wouldn't be surprised if they use this, And this, even more left field. Do you know what this is from?
Well, let me share my thoughts. Well, before you go to that,
okay.
Sorry for constantly cutting you off because I have a lot of thoughts about these things too.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, like, granted we're not getting clear pictures because I could have sworn that there are some pictures of Nemesis Prime that if I'm not mistaken, they're using the faceplate mask on him.
For Nemesis Prime?
Yeah, for Nemesis Prime, because because when we had animated Optimus release, he didn't have a faceplate. So I think this version of Nemesis Prime, he actually has a faceplate.
Yeah, actually, you are correct, sir. He does have a faceplate, and just so that everyone can see,
because technically this is a retool.
We're gonna switch it to there.
So I mean,
you can see.
Yep,
right
there we go. Yeah, there, right there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
so
really
technically it's a retool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a retool, just like the bumper. It would have been, like I said, it would have been nice if they changed the front bumper.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they gave him the front bumper, but hey, at least they're acknowledging him. He is the tribal king.
Yes.
Or the tribal leader. Whatever.
Tribal chief.
You know what I meant.
If you're using wrestling terms, yes, tribal
he's
chief.
a tribal chief. Okay.
Yes.
I've been following it loosely. Tell me some
Yes,
slack
yes.
here.
Right.
Plus, it's almost midnight.
Yes, exactly. Man, 2 hours of just that list alone, man.
I know.
But yes, like yeah, going back to Bumper, yeah, it's cool that we're getting that guy. I just want to get the other one, the one with the red face.
The one with the red.
Yeah. Okay, wait, go back.
Wait, I'm trying to see if there's any better pictures. That's why. I don't think there is though.
Right.
Okay.
Well, if you check the gallery mode, yeah. But any case, yeah. So when I met by the other guy, because I remember that they made another version of that body type where it had like a yellow, where it had like a red, like an orangey red face. I forgot the name of that dude.
Oh, Hubcap. We already got Hubcap.
We got Hubcat.
Pretty sure.
Don't even remember. Yeah, I missed it then. If that's the case,
I think he was in one of the 4-packs. That's why.
Right. But anyways, yeah, Nemesis Prime. But then you were about to comment about the horrible.
Oh yeah.
Before I cut you off, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just okay. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, the horrible is not so horrible.
He's not horrible, by the way.
He's retooled from Skullcruncher.
Oh, really?
The Gator. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's a Skullcruncher.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's Skullcruncher. They retooled the Skullcruncher.
Very cool.
These are the same arms, even.
Yep.
Actually,
so that's the legs.
It might be exactly the same, except they gave him the tail. This is the tail for horrible, and then I think this is the gun from Skullcruncher. I'm pretty sure of it.
And of course, there's a new head.
Yeah, and then it's a new head.
New bullhead. I'm referring to. Do you think?
Oh,
you think that?
I think it might be the same head also for the.
Yeah, from that head pack, right?
Possibly.
I forgot the name. You know what I'm talking about? Like, where it was just a head with a vehicle.
Oh, that's right. They already had it. Yeah.
So you think it might be that one?
Yeah, because they
the head,
all use
the
same
like,
heads anyway.
Right.
They'll use the same Titan Masters.
Yes.
Yeah, and
so like there's limited tooling if that's the case, right?
I mean, limited. What do you mean by limited tooling?
Well, what I meant was because they already had the parts, so when it came to horrible, like they didn't have to retool him that much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same with all of these guys except for the Ultra Magnus.
Yep.
Because they just had to be like, okay, he's this color, and that color.
Yep. Though, isn't he Nuclear Quest?
No, Nuclear Quest is black.
Oh, but I'm talking about, like where I remember the episode where they had Prime painted all white as like a special coating.
Oh, actually, it was like a silver.
Yeah.
That was for the Hate Plague episode.
Yep, the Hate Plague.
Actually, you know what that was? That was the Return of Optimus Prime 2-parter. That's what that was.
Right. Yeah, because every time I saw him painted with that color, I kept saying, "Oh, is that the White Prime from the Ultra Magnus toy?"
Oh yeah, but I think it would have been cool if they gave him the Ultra Magnus gun. But with all this retooling that's going on, I can see why they didn't do that. Like, that's probably where they made, like they saved some money on the budget for this whole thing.
So, this is just a thought, just for the Ultra Magnus repaint. Is I remember when Classics first started,
right?
That Classics Optimus the first thing they did was they repainted him white and those Ultra Magnus, and for some reason, like that was during a time when third party was still like starting.
Yeah.
Remember Fans Project, and all of a sudden Fans Project released
I remember
that trailer.
Yeah.
That could turn that Classics Ultra Magnus white repaint into actual Ultra Magnus with the armor.
Yeah.
And ever since then, third party exploded. So just throwing it out there, it'd be kind of cool that third party will look at that
Oh yeah,
prime,
dude. I'm pretty sure
look
they'll
at
do
look
that.
at this prime. Like I know I'm circling the mouse, but you're not seeing it. But if they took that prime
Yeah.
and turned and made a G1 esque trailer
Hell,
of
just why
Ultra
not just
Magnus
make it
trailer,
G1 accurate, but with like
yeah, that's what
more
I'm saying. Like,
articulation than the regular Ultra Magnus.
yeah, technically a budget missing link.
Yeah, just like this quote unquote Ultra Magnus is.
Exactly, like a budget. Yeah, he's basically this prime is a budget missing link
Mm-hmm.
Optimus,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool that we see that third party try to mess their best to make a very uh, close to G1 trailer that's articulated for this Ultra Magnus
Yeah.
toy.
No, yeah, that'd be totally cool. Like I'd be down for that.
Yeah, because third party always finds an excuse to make an Ultra Magnus armor.
Sure. Sure. So, what are your thoughts on the bumper and the horrible?
Okay, bumper. Uh, I don't know, man. Like, I'm happy for, like, I think from a fan's perspective, he's a great figure because, like, the only way his popularity is just based on fan interest alone. So,
Well, he did show up in the DW comics also.
oh yeah, totally. But the reason why he showed up because he was, the fans love that dude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and he's a deep cut character.
totally. And fandom's all about deep cuts.
Yeah,
Wink,
that's
wink.
for sure.
So, but yeah, like that's a cool one. The horrible, like he's a pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that because I was trying to figure out who was he retooled on, and then you just pointed it out to me. I'm like, oh, and all the dots started connecting and stuff. So I'm happy we're getting him. The Nemesis Prime, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm kind of going through fatigue with Nemesis Prime to some extent.
Okay.
So especially seeing a Nemesis Prime on a character who never was a Nemesis Prime, kind of like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. So
what I'm hearing is it would have been more sense if it was a Toxitron.
yeah, maybe a Toxitron, or maybe Shattered Glass.
Animated
Nemesis
Prime.
Yeah, animated where he actually had like a the mustache and everything.
Yeah. I mean that'd be cool. I do
Right.
like this Nemesis Prime though. I really do, and I've noticed something that they did on this Nemesis Prime that they haven't really done on most, if not all, other Nemesis Primes. His fingers are teal.
Ah, yep, I can see
You can
that.
see it more here than
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I can see it now that you're pointing it out. That's a very interesting touch they added.
Yeah. I dig it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the thing is, it's a great toy. Like I got when I got my copy, I had such a blast just transforming him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
but yeah, like I'm happy this pack coming out. Like, but I think this is the thing. When it comes to Target packs, like they seem to like the developers, they seem to like just having a blast, just throwing whatever they can think of.
The problem is a lot of times they either hit or miss with these 4-packs.
Yep.
Because like it's either a pack that like everyone's like or people are like, oh, I gotta get it, or it's like I gotta get it, but I only want this one, so how can I dump the rest of it?
Right.
Those
yeah,
are
that's kind of how
the lines of thinking when it comes to these 4-packs.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, there's a part of me that wants this, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you asked me if I was planning to sell any, wasn't it?
Yeah. I wasn't asking for me. I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
I was just asking if you were gonna do it.
No,
like,
yeah, I generally I like them all. Plus, I don't actually have that poor man's Ultra Missing Link Optimus.
So this is a good excuse for you to get one, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know.
But yeah, that's cool, dude. Like, but yeah, I would say for me, if I were to get it, I think the one that's catching my eye is Horrible.
Yeah, the Horrible is definitely like the Jeff's kiss on that one. Not
is
only
it
that,
horrible
but,
or horrible?
Horrible. like HORRI
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hyphen
I know. It's like there's
BULL.
yeah. I'm just wondering, how do you say? Do you say horrible or horrible? It's
Horrible,
just
horrible. I don't know. Now, see, now
yeah,
you
yeah,
got me
yeah.
thinking about it, so I know I'm not gonna say it the way I normally say
Right, right. You can say it any way you want, man.
it. Well,
It's
yeah,
just,
but now you
it's
got me
just one of
thinking
those
about it.
instances. But it's just one of those instances, like, because he has such a his name is very puntastic.
Yeah,
So
it's yeah, definitely very punny. um, I'm just trying to think. Like, we got the Fangry, we got the Horrible now. Who was the third one in this team of the Headmaster Juniors? Oh, Squeeze
uh,
Plate, which we got already.
yeah,
So
cancer.
Horrible's the last one.
Yep. So your collection is complete if you got all three of them.
Thank you, Mark Mayer. Gotta
Yep.
complete those mini collections. Mark,
Yep. Yeah.
Mark, where is Beastbox, Squawk Talk, Suckfist, and Overkill? Oh, and while you're at it, let's get some Cobalt Sentries. You know, Howlback and Garboil. Let's get Enemy out there. Uh, and let's get Wing Thing redone. Huh? And I guess
Hmm.
Rat Bat by extension. But come on, come on. Let's have an actual complete collections, Mark. Please.
Yeah, but it's
I
good
gotta finish
knowing
my mini
Mark.
cassettes. Screw
Well,
Blasters
the,
cassettes. Everyone knows that's Soundwave is where it's at. Please, Mark. Please, I'm begging you. Finish
I
Soundwave's cassettes.
I think Mark is listening. It's just based on the interview, which we'll be talking later on. He mentions how much of a challenge it is to try to find a spot for everybody. So
Okay. All right.
maybe he's thinking about it. Maybe it's on his to do list, but it's just finding the perfect spot
Yeah.
to release it that not meets our expectations, but what's the way I would say it? Like where the buyers will be open to purchase it, to
Right.
sell it to
Right.
us.
Right.
I don't know the terminology for when stores buy it for us.
So what I'm hearing basically, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, it's when.
Okay.
You know, kind of like what's happening with the what we call them, the deluxe Insecticons.
Yeah. Yeah. The
That
deluxe
it's
ones.
taking this long to get each one of them and stuff. So
I mean,
I think
yeah, we've only gotten what, 2 out of the 4.
three out of the four.
Got Chop Chop,
Uh,
Barrage. Oh yeah,
we,
we ransacked, so we need Venom now.
yep, we need Venom. So and he's rumored to come this year. So
Praying. I'm praying we
yeah,
get Venom. Because Venom was
yeah.
one of the deluxe. He was the only deluxe Insecticon I had as a kid.
Mm,
So he's kind of like falls into the category of, he's kind of one of my favorites because I had him as a kid kind of characters.
yep, yep. Kind of like how I am with Trailbreaker.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, for me, it was Barrage, and I already got him. So
Barrage is the Beetle, right? Well,
yeah,
they're
he's
all
the
Beetles. Or
Stag Beetle.
the
The
Stag
Stag
Beetle.
Beetle. He's the one. You know, he's the one with the where he's got like the thing that protrudes out of his forehead. No,
No, that's not a Stag
that's
Beetle.
Chop
That's a
Shop.
Rhinoceros Beetle.
Yeah, okay, that's what I meant
Yeah,
to say.
because
Yes.
the
Oh, right.
because
My
Chop
mistake.
Shop,
Yeah.
the Stag Beetle is Chop
Yeah.
Shop,
Chop Shop. Yeah, he's
which
the
is
one.
also
Yeah. So I
Shrapnel.
guess a rhino. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, shrapnel. So yeah, I would say he's the
the
rhinoceros
Rhinoceros,
beetle, like you said.
which
Yep.
is also Bombshell. It's kind of interesting if you
Yep.
think about it. Like, actually, even I think,
The fact that the designers were able to get those figure characters out of the Insecticons. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like, they love their bugs in Japan, especially the
right.
beetles. So it
Yeah,
makes
but
sense that like those were those insects were designed the way they were designed. With the type of
but the
beetles
but
that
the
they
designs
use.
are very clever. Sorry for
Yeah,
cutting
no,
you
it's
off,
okay.
but like but the designs are very clever. Like for example, you, with Chop Shop, like the fact that they colored his shoulders red to emulate the eyes
Yeah,
for the beetle mode. I mean, yeah, for the stag beetle mode. Like I thought that was a very clever way of applying the paint and stuff.
yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, well, all we're missing is Venom when it comes to the deluxe Insecticons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, we got as far as like mini collections, we got this guy. But I guess the what do you call it? the Bumblebee, the mini bot collection. We're still missing a few.
Yeah, but at least now we're not missing a bumper.
Right. I still want my Power Glide.
Yeah, I want my Power Glide too, and they better repaint him into Viper.
I'm hoping he has like a chest panel to open up and you see like a heart.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
bumper.
but yeah, these 4-packs are fun, man.
Yeah, just I feel like this one is definitely a hit. And if there's anyone that people are probably gonna dump, it might be the Ultra Magnus. I feel.
Uh, I don't know. Like my
Okay, let me rephrase it then.
yeah,
I feel like the weakest one is the Ultra Magnus. It's not bad,
right.
but it's the weakest one.
Yeah, because he's barely got any paint apps.
Yeah.
He's just all white with
I
a
mean,
blue face and stuff.
it's the tragedy
I
of
mean,
being Ultra Magnus, right?
yeah. Well, actually, yeah, it is tragic, but it's also tragic that that's the actual color of the toy
I
when he
know.
first came
I
out.
know. I know. They should have left him in blue, but oh well.
Yeah, I would love it if they released him as the Delta Magnus colors,
Yeah, I would love that too.
which is like dark blue and blue.
Yeah, and red. There's some red in there for sure.
Right.
I think there's some silver in there too, or like a dark gray.
Yep. But yeah, well, I think we're kind of the same wavelength when it comes to Delta Magnus.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is a great set.
Yep. I can't wait to order it. I already pre-ordered it.
Right.
So I got my little
Yeah.
Target hookup, so I got it for slightly cheaper.
Nice.
So yeah.
So, but anyways, those are my thoughts on this 4-pack.
Yeah. I think it's great. I love it. I love that they retool Skullcruncher into Horrible. Nemesis Prime, like I said, I love that they gave him the 2 fingers. Bumper, I love it. I think though that I wish they changed his feet or the front bumper.
Right. Yeah.
And the Magnus is Magnus. I can't complain. I want that mold. I don't have that mold yet, so.
Right. So this is going to be your first time.
Yeah.
Checking it out.
Yeah.
It's a fun mold. I will never. I was so excited to get him.
Yeah.
When
So
they first announced him.
The wheels are like that PVC soft, like rubber, right? It's not like rubber, but it's like soft, right?
Give me a second.
Well, in the meanwhile,
Let's see.
It
is a rubber. It's not plastic. So
right. Okay. Yeah. Because I heard. I forgot where. I think it might have been on Instagram. I heard from I think it was Mark Meer, or maybe it was the other kid with the glasses.
Right. Yes.
Saying that they use like a PVC plastic.
Right.
To get that softness, like the rubber tires, without having to use rubber.
Yeah, but can you go back now that we're still talking about it? Can you go back to the picture of the 4-pack?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm wondering is that I've noticed that Ultra Magnus might be missing an accessory.
Which accessory is that?
Well, okay. The thing is, can you go back to the vehicle mode?
Yeah.
He might. Can you go back to the robot mode just so I can double check? Okay. I can't confirm since we're all looking at pictures. I think he might be missing a gun because he comes with 2 guns instead of 1.
Oh, does he come with like that bloated gun?
Yeah, because like the thing is, the Prime, the Deluxe Legacy Deluxe Prime, he came with 2 different guns because he's like based like the thin cannon gun. You can see that.
And the bloated one.
Yeah, the bloated one where it's like where the tip is more rounded off. So because like the reason why I'm saying that because it looks like he's got the bloated one in robot mode.
Yeah,
but in vehicle mode, he looks like he's got the thin cannon.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: are any of those guns painted?
Yeah, they're painted like this. Has like this glossy look to it. Like,
Can
So
you
like,
tell what it was originally cast in? Or are they
let's
all in
see,
black? Like, is it
they're
fully painted
all
in black?
well. I can't. Yeah, I can't really tell because like I need a lamp to shine it on, but it looks like
Well,
the handle is still black. It's still black, but it's just the gun. It's the handle, the peg, the 5 millimeter peg. Oops,
yeah,
it's it's black, but everything everything else is like it looks like it has like this glossy paint on it.
right.
So, which I doubt that this thing will be painted. It'll shock me if they painted it white.
I mean, so okay, so here's the thing I'm getting at, or at least
Right.
was trying to get at.
Yeah.
It's possible that this loaded gun
Mm-hmm.
is with this mold, whereas the skinny gun is with the trailer. Oh no, wait, but there is no trailer, right?
Right. Nope. No trailer.
Huh.
Well, I get okay. If that's the case, I would say like I feel like it's they're both casted in black because like I don't see any hint of other colors besides the black. So
Yeah, I think it probably is cast in black, and I'll tell you why.
right.
No, wait, but no. Did they? Maybe? Hard to say.
So
Without seeing it in
what
front of
you're
me, it's really hard to say.
right,
But
right. You're what's your
it's
theory?
because, well, I was gonna say maybe it's cast, like maybe it's cast with other parts that are black. But if there's no trailer, so my original thought was, oh, it's probably one of them gun is with the trailer, and then they just painted it. But there is no
Well,
trailer, so they have to be on the same mold as the Optimus.
well, the thing is like
But this
I
would
will
indicate that
just
there's no other extra gun. So
well,
maybe it is in a different or separate mold?
well, just to support your theory, the Optimus it has different plastic colors. So like maybe not the trailer casting, but maybe the blue casting or something.
Yeah,
But then
maybe
again, I
like
think
it's cast with the legs. Yeah, that's a
right.
possibility.
But then again, we're looking at a figure that's all white. So
Yeah. I mean, there's clearly the gun is like sort of like a different shade of white. Like you could,
well, I I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I feel like the reason why it looks off is because maybe it's just photography.
yeah, but I mean, that means that they would have had to like take a photo of the gun separate and then like in Photoshop put it on his hand, so to speak.
Okay, so
So
well we'll well once you get the figure,
yeah, like once we get the
we
figure,
probably can like debunk our theories once
yeah.
you get that figure.
I mean, at least understand it better because, oh, for all we know, we may get the gun.
Right, right.
You know,
I just was pointing it out just because I wanted to notice
yeah,
if what like if there's anything different. Just that was just something that has caught my eye. Like I was gonna say, where's the other gun? You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
Anyway, we got these Target exclusives. We got this Target
yep,
exclusive, right? This is a Target
yep,
exclusive. This,
yep. Yeah, there's battle damage from what I've heard.
oh, battle
Like
damage? No, sorry,
yeah,
they
it's like battle
lost me.
damage paint. So
They lost me.
mm-hmm.
I was tempted, but no, it
Yeah.
doesn't look like there's any battle damage.
Well, maybe it's just it's so subtle or something to that effect. Because like this is supposed to be kind of more like what's the word term like more accurate, I suppose,
It,
to some extent. Like maybe there's like some shading or like wear.
I don't know. It doesn't look like
I
it.
right.
Oh wait, there's that.
Yeah, maybe they're because like since people are having complaints about the battle damage, they're finding ways to implement it, but not distract the piece as a whole.
Well, if they were listening to the fans, they just wouldn't do
I know, but maybe they needed to find a way to reintroduce this one. Like maybe they didn't want to do a package refresh. That they I don't know. So
it. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know. Like,
I would like to get that Prime, but I just want him in a different color.
Yeah, like an all white.
I'm gonna go back to the Delta Magnus example.
Yeah, yeah. We got
And that Megatron, yeah, it's okay. I prefer the first
the first one we got.
the first release of that Megatron, because that one is so much better. This one, I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
I feel like, uh, you know what? I'm kind of not feeling both of them, even though I think they look cool. I'm just not feeling
Right.
it.
Well,
I think
I'd
partially because
say
I have that that first time they did it.
yeah, I have both the Megatron and the
Yeah,
Optimus,
me too.
and I prefer those. Though I do like the Optimus because he looks a little bit more gorilla
Yeah.
versus the one that we got the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, but
it
still a
definitely
great
looks more
figure.
like the toy. I mean, excuse me, like the video game.
Yep, the video game. But I just want him in a different color, just so I could feel like I have something that's not Prime.
What you mean?
So
You don't need like the bazillionth Optimus Prime in your collection the way I have like a bazillion
yeah,
Optimus Primes.
real. Well, again, I'm going through Prime fatigue. We've talked about. I
Yeah,
think we haven't talked about it in in
yeah. On the show we
the
haven't talked about
channel,
it,
but
but
we talk about it in private. Like
yeah.
like I'm going through Prime fatigue. That's kind of the reason why I'm interested in the comic verse Soundwave,
Yeah.
because like that's just a new version of Soundwave for
Yeah.
me. It's like
You should be buying every version of Soundwave though.
I guess I'm not that big a Soundwave fan. So,
No, you're not.
but I will say this: I'm kind of interested in getting that Sideswipe because I haven't gotten that version of Sideswipe.
Uh, this is the Earthrise version.
Yep, Earthrise with
Oh,
they're
this is
doing
the one
cell
that came with
shaded coloring.
Skywarp originally. Yeah, I do like
Right.
that cell shading though.
Yep, that's cell shading. That's the thing that's catching my eye for it. So
Yeah, it's a shame it's like mostly on the windows though. But I would say this is definitely a good opportunity for any fans out there who have not gotten the Earthrise with Skywarp version.
yeah, because that was an exclusive,
Yeah, to
so it was tough to
Amazon.
get.
Um,
Amazon exclusive.
but yeah, no, this is pretty cool. Would I get
Yep,
it? Honestly, no. I already got my Skywarp and Sideswipe version.
yep. Maybe for me because I missed out. So
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like if you missed out, this is perfect. I feel.
yeah,
You know what's kind of
and plus
interesting
he's
though?
mhm.
Why is this like a whitish gray?
That seems to be the packaging, uh, the new the setup for this micro collection.
Really?
Yeah, because if you check, they
Oh
did it with
yeah.
Megatron.
Okay. Let's see what they did it with the
They did it with
Optimus.
Megatron. They did it
Yeah.
with
They okay. Yeah, they're doing it with all of them.
yep.
It's like
Even the
black, white, and
Wheeljack.
red.
Yep. But I have an idea what you're thinking. That it kind of throws you off, makes you think it's like clamp down or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or what's his name?
Red
First
alert.
Aid. Oh yeah, was it? Yeah, Red Alert. Red
Red
Alert.
alert. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, good opportunity. There's a wheeljack. As speaking of
Yep.
wheeljack, I think
Yeah,
is that a new
but
gun? No, right?
no. Well, actually, yeah, I think that's a new gun.
Because he had this
That's
before, which is
he
technically his
only had
shoulder
that gun.
launchers.
Right. Yeah. Now that you bring it up, yeah, I think that gun is new.
That's cool. I don't know if I
But
get it because it's for the gun though. Just
yeah, I'm happy with
yeah, I'm
the
cool with what I got.
Earthrise Wheeljack.
Yeah.
But the thing for me, if they were gonna give him any accessory, I wish they gave him like the weapon he had in the game, which is like a reference to his one of his episodes. But he had like this orange this thing where he could like pull a string on, like a top of some sort, and he in the video game that was kind of like his area effect move.
Okay.
And I kind of wish that. I mean, granted, I still wouldn't have gotten him, but like I kind of would have preferred that they gave him that accessory instead of his gun.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, it's a good toy either way.
oh yeah, definitely. I think this is the best Wheeljack we ever got.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is.
As far as
And transformation
as
is somewhat similar to the G1 version, which is nice.
Yep.
And I say
Yep.
somewhat
Agreed.
with the caveat that yes, I know the legs are not exactly the same, but
Right. But
yeah, it's still it's a very cool toy, you know.
yeah, agreed. Like I think, like, because I remember this is like the second time they've made like a wheeljack based on his G1 design, and
Mm.
I feel is like the best one. Like the other one he did was like Generations Universe 2.0,
Yeah,
where it was based on like he was kind of like a retool
of
of
tracks.
tracks. Yeah,
Yeah,
like yeah, this one's totally better than that one. So
yeah, yeah. Uh, this is definitely a better mold. Um, it has a gun, but I don't think that's enough for me to get it.
yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
still happy with
if people want to
the
get them,
Earthrise
God
one.
bless, enjoy. But
Yep.
yeah, I got one already. I'm good.
Yep. I'm good with that one too.
And what's next? Oh, okay, we're back at
Yep.
the beginning.
Yep.
So that's it for the Target exclusives that are already up for pre-order.
Yep.
So if you haven't pre-ordered yours, and it is now, I'm gonna say June 8th,
Hmm.
even though it's already past midnight. Go pre-order your stuff. Hopefully, it's still available.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're
Yep.
gonna have to
Yep.
wait and go into a Target. So if you're Canadian,
So
sucks to be you because I know you don't have Targets. But hey, you guys got Toys R Us, and
yeah.
those Toys R Us have Target exclusives. So there you go.
Yeah. We're jealous that you guys got still have Toys R Us. It breaks my heart that
Yeah.
that
Anyway,
we barely have them. So,
that is that
but
on the Target exclusives.
yep.
Um, so we were gonna cover
Well, we finally got some images of Star Optimus.
right.
Yeah. Some buyer got their hands on a Star Optimus, or I guess this is Hasbro itself, but
Mm.
we got some images of Star Optimus Prime, which I still prefer to call him Star Convoy. So,
Yes, he's always Star Convoy.
yep.
Just like
So
Black
we got him
Convoy is
like
always Black Convoy and not Scourge.
right,
Because
right,
Scourge,
or Nemesis Prime. Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with Nemesis Prime, but
yeah, I'm
I
okay
kind
with that
of
too. But
I kind of prefer Black Convoy because
yeah,
that's how it was first introduced.
yeah. Plus, I don't know, something about it just sounds cooler to me.
Nemesis Prime.
No, no, Black Convoy.
Yep. But anyways, Star Star Convoy or Star Optimus, as other people have prefer him. This is we actually got in hand images of with comparison to other figures, like it's like the
Yeah,
Omega Prime, right there.
right. Because everyone has an Omega Prime, so they could easily use that as for size reference.
Hmm. And we got that hot rod right there too.
Yes, the Micromaster Hot Rod.
Yes, yes, yes. So we got yep, there we go. Clearer images of it. So first and foremost, like granted, I'm not buying him, but I am happy that this guy is getting released because like he almost looks like it's almost like they grabbed the exact toy of his first release and just made him articulated.
Right. Yeah, because
Because
the G1 version of Star Convoy is a brick.
yep, pretty much. And they grabbed almost every detail you could think of. It's just the only thing that's missing is that the certain parts of him is not motorized.
Yeah, yeah, which is kind of a shame, but I understand
Yep.
why.
So, but it's interesting that we're looking at a season, a second release Titan class, which is this guy right here,
Yeah,
versus the most recent release of a Titan class. And granted, they cut the price down to like a more cheaper price with the newest version of a Titan class. But man, it's just seeing the scales how they
yeah,
how much has changed, man. So,
yeah. Wow.
but in any case, this is still a great figure. This guy right here,
Mm-hmm.
like, so we got him, like, so got some poses. There he is next to Titan class
Predaking.
Predator King. Yep,
Yeah, this he's kind of big.
yep, he's pretty big. So let's see. Yep, a Tau is over that
Omega
the
Prime.
Omega Prime. Yep.
Yeah,
So at least you can get a scale comparison to a Mega Prime to this guy.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yep. I just love the fact how articulated he is.
Yeah, that's kind of why I want one because, like I said, the G1 version is just a brick.
Right.
I mean, it's
right.
cool because he turns into a Micromaster base and all, but
Yep.
and it's an Optimus, but like, give me some posability, as opposed
Yep.
to just, just the arms, not even the head moves.
Oh boy, really?
Yeah, and I think at the shoulders also, if I'm not correctly. That's it. Basically, he's got arm movement, and it's very minimal at that.
But here's some things that they kind of did to plus this one up even more, is that if you look right here, that's the turret. And then they found a way to make it more, they transform into a gun. So,
wait, what is
right
that?
there? That's the turret.
Oh, the turret. Okay.
Yeah, where Hot Rod will sit and stuff.
Yeah.
So. I don't think we have any pictures of all. Yep, all we got is robot mode for these pictures.
Yeah,
so
better than nothing.
Yep, but that's but it's cool to see some comparison shots and stuff.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, again. So, but just a real quick thought. I'm hoping going back to that listing that the next that commander class will be Super Megatron, so we can at least have a Prime. Who is Prime without a Megatron?
Still Prime.
Of course, but he always needs his someone to face. So
yeah. Anyway, speaking of faces, we got that Q&A with Mark Meer.
Yep.
So, this is a pretty long list of questions.
Right. So I kind of have my notes on some of the questions that caught my eye.
Okay.
So I guess I don't know if we want to cover this one, but because one of the questions caught my eye was, what size class do you want Liege Maximo to be?
Oh yeah, there he goes.
Yep. And then his answer was, I want Liege Maximo to be a leader, bigger than Megatronus. He is probably the character I wanted the most out of all the primes. Believe it or not, I've been staring at that G2 comic panel for what feels like decades, saying to myself, I need this guy next to an accurate Jaxus. Despite the design challenges with his cables, I finished the deco on Beefy Monster and hope everyone loves him as much as I do. So yeah, definitely, this is the reason why I love Mark Nair. He's pretty much our voice when it comes to.
I mean, it's obvious he's a fan.
Yep.
He was there with us growing up.
Exactly. Yep. And I always feel, I just love hearing him talk because it's clear that you can sense how much he loves this brand.
Yeah.
And he's trying to I always feel he's composing himself every time, just because because he's very tempered. So, but yeah, so yeah, that's his thoughts on it. So, but the other thing that's kind of making what's going on here is that the next question is, will Liege Maximo be based on G2 design or Covenant? And he kind of gave a very broad answer, which is boom, already answered. So
that's funny. Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, so it's very vague. So there's a part of me that's hoping, based on what we've seen with all the designs, there seem to be some kind of a marriage of all the designs to some extent. Mm-hmm. But regardless of that, if all these designs are going to have some kind of a blend, my hope is that it's 90% that G2 comic book and 10% the Covenant design.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
My thoughts? Yeah, he needs to be big.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be big. At least
well, I would say
commander class.
Well, it says he's leader, so.
Oh.
But I would say the size. Let me see. The size doesn't bother me, or I need to be big. So leader is the big, cheapest but biggest at the same time. But I'd say that's a decent size.
Yeah.
To create him looking massive.
Yeah.
So, but my like, but just going back to my comment, like, I kind of wanted him to look monstrous.
Yeah.
So, because that's what made him so interesting. That's what caught my eye when it comes to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Here's something
so
interesting.
anyways, yeah, totally,
Um.
dude. So like yeah, so it's clear I'm excited, Mark's excited, everyone's excited for Liege Maximo.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought
So
this was kind of interesting. Is the
yep.
Age of the Prime still going to be a 2-year line? And if so, are you done with trilogies?
Mm-hmm.
Answer: I wouldn't say trilogies are off the table. There was a lot of discussion about around how to best handle Age of the Primes as a whole. A trilogy was part of that discussion at one point. Ultimately, though, we chose to put the fans' experience first, making sure collectors could complete all 13 primes over 2 years instead of stretching it into three. So this
Yeah.
could have been a trilogy.
Yeah, so I how to describe it? Like I'm kind of open to both approaches.
Yeah,
Like in one hand, I'm happy that's 2 years, so you don't have to wait to to get all the 13.
yeah,
So because like if it was a 3 year like a set, it was gonna take like 3 years to wait to get all the primes.
yeah.
So, but the I remember some of the questions they talked about what could have been if it was a 3 year plan,
Hmm.
that they could have introduced the other primes like Sentinel
Yeah.
and I think Logos, I think his name
That sounds
is.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah, like anyways, but it's just it would have been interesting, but I'm happy there's 2 years.
Yeah.
So but anyways, but going back, but speaking of the primes, the other question that caught my eye
Hmm.
was, you said the primes have no retools planned, but
Oh
could there
yeah.
be alternate versions of the characters themselves, i.e., Onyx with his IDW color scheme, Prima with his Covenant head, etc.? Now, this is the question because, like, I remember before we were told that these these molds were going to be there's no plans to use these molds after
Yeah.
the Age of Prime series is done. So and Mark's answer is, I don't recall saying that, but if fans speak up, why wouldn't we consider recolors or partials? I think it's clear that our team are just fans like you are. I know what it feels like to be in the "Hey Hasbro, do this for me, please" group. So everything is always on the table. So that kind of debunks the 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 comments that there were out in the past where there wasn't any plans for repaints or retools of these characters.
Right.
So there's a chance we might see these molds come back
Yeah.
in some shape or form in the future, and I'm all for that.
Yeah. As long as we just have to worry about the stupid tariffs, but we'll see what happens.
Right. Yeah. So like, but yeah, I think we need to have a like a sit in and just look at these molds and say, what can we make beyond? What can we see that could be made with these figures? Like Onyx Prime alone, like man, like that Beast Former, like you could make so many figures out of that guy.
Probably. Yeah.
So so is there any other questions that catch your eye?
Honestly, I'm
There's
kind of
just so much to
tired, and
cover.
it's like a lot
Yes.
to read right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give you some of my notes.
Okay.
So anyways, another question I think we kind of talked about this was, are you interested in doing Super Megatron to go with Optimus? And his answer is again, sure, why not? I love me some Megs. So, but yeah, which is the reason why I brought up the possibility that Commander class could be Megs. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, speaking of, questions that pop out, this one just popped
yep.
out at me. Since the new Bruticus is happening, will he be repainted into Ruination? It seems like everyone wants it, and he's
Oh
not
hell
wrong.
yeah,
But
yeah
I
definitely.
also need a Battle Gaia.
Yep, that's your biggest request. Mine is will be well, not Ruination, Valdigus.
Yeah.
It's one of those cases where I like the Japanese interpretation of that character, but I love the name that the American
Yeah,
presentation of him gave
yeah,
him. Like
yeah.
Ruination. Like who could not like a name like that?
No, that was a good one. Especially
Yeah,
since like Volticus is a cool name, but like, what does it really mean?
yeah.
You know?
Like I feel like it's Bruticus, but not.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to make a new name, but like it's like what can we say other than Bruticus? I don't know, Dudicus, Bruticus, Valdicus,
Ludicrous.
Bruticus,
Like a good neighbor, safer Missouri.
yeah. But anyways, there's another question that caught my eye was is Lugnut in consideration since he won the Hall of Fame, and if so, what size class would he be? And Mark's answer, my gut guides me. It tells me that a leader's class scale Lugnut would accomplish what's needed for the character. So yeah, where's that Lugnut? So
Oh man.
yeah, yeah, because he's yeah. When I saw this, I was kind of like thinking back of all my favorite moments with Lugnut from the animated series, where he was like like where he turns let me collect my thoughts like the first time I saw him do that rocket punch where his hands like start having a booster and he hits the ground and you see like the area just went boom and stuff
Oh
so,
man.
so we got him. Then another question that caught my eye was are there plans for the Beast Wars anniversary next year, and what would you most like to make for it? And this is his answer. Personally, I'd like to include some of the weirder, obscure Beast War guys, like Injector, as
Oh
well as
man.
some of the less obscure ones, like Depth Charge, etc. So stay tuned. The VAC metal metallics are a challenge in production nowadays. Still scratching my head on these. So, first off, yeah, I need me some Depth Charge, dude. Depth Charge, Rampage, and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how about some baboon? Yeah.
Baboom.
Baboon.
Yeah, that's a wacky one, dude.
Or Bone Crusher with his like vomiting missile launcher.
Vomiting
Well,
missile
it's
launcher.
yeah, because like he shoots a missile from
Yeah,
his
yeah, I
mouth.
remember. Yes, I remember when his head pops up and
Exactly.
stuff. That's another bonkers one. Like my, this is like an obscure one, but this is like a favorite of mine personally. Is damn, I can't believe I forgot his name. The Dragonfly one, a Sky Shadow,
Yeah.
I think his name is. Yeah, he was another bonkers one, man. So yeah, Sky Shadow. But it's just he mentions the Vac Metal. I don't know why he. I thought we I thought we were through with Vac Metal. You know, because like it seems like Vac Metal that seems to be like a premium thing nowadays.
Well, I mean, it's an expensive process.
Exactly. So I don't know why he wants to do Vac Metal and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, dude? I'm about to pass out. It's
All right, so
12:30.
yeah,
Uh,
man, this is just so much news. So like, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man.
we'll
So
pick this up. You know what? Let's pick this up. Like I don't know, during the week.
yeah, yeah, just to like wrap this up, man,
Yeah,
because
because it's a lot.
I think
It's
we
a
had
lot.
too much fun talking about that list, man.
Yeah, and like I almost like fell asleep just now. So
No problem. Understood. Understood.
all right.
So,
So I guess we'll see you in
oh,
part
right, wait.
two.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll continue this conversation.
Yeah.
So,
All right. I'm gonna stop it here.
Transformers, for the beats behind. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, the Transformers, for the beats behind. The Transformers.
Hello and welcome back to the Cup Fandom podcast.
yes.
I hope you enjoyed that little break. I'm sure I put something up really cool as a bumper in between. And
Yep.
it is now the next day because My God, there was a lot of Transformers news, and we only
Yeah,
have
there
so much
was
time to cover this stuff.
yeah, we had just so much time just having fun just talking about it, man. So like
Yeah,
and we still got more to talk about. Like it's like I told you like after recording, it's like it's Christmas, dude.
yeah,
Like,
it is. And we have a lot of info to go over from Mr. Mark Cronus himself.
yep, Mark Meer.
That's right. Last time we left off, we had covered all this stuff in the Age
Yeah,
of
the
the
Age of the
Primes
Prime
question.
stuff.
Now for
Yes.
onto I guess the specific generations questions, right?
Right, right. So what questions catch your eye?
Well, I like this one. Is Lugnut in
Hmm.
consideration since he won the Hall of Fame? And if
Right,
so,
right.
what class size would he be? To which Mark replies, "My gut guides me. It tells me that a leader scale in Lugnut would accomplish what's needed for the character." So it's nice to see we'll get a nice big Lugnut if they ever get around to doing him.
Right, right.
Because
Yeah, he was an interesting character. Like like he's probably like, kind of like the breakout star to some extent because he was brand new for that show. So
yeah, I actually kind of liked him because he was kind of like Inferno and Beast Wars, where he's like very loyal
very
to
yep.
Megatron to the point of being a sycophant,
Hmm.
you know. But like he was kind of like he had his idiosyncrasies, you know, like he made a lot of mistakes and whatnot, and I don't know, he was just like the big dumb brute. I kind of
Yeah,
like that.
but there's so much of him that compensates for it. Like the fact is that even though he's a brute and stuff, you don't want to mess with him because like he'll just do like these rocket punches to explode
Yeah,
everything. You know.
that's true. I mean, he was no joke. You know,
Hmm.
I like I said, I thought he was cool. I like him. So
Of course,
hopefully
I
we'll
like him
get one
too.
in the future because Hall of Fame characters usually get made eventually
Totally.
down the line.
Though, might I chime in on the possibility? Again, this Mark hasn't comment. He did comment on the possibility of a Titan class Omega Supreme, animated Omega Supreme. So if we get a animated Omega Supreme in the Titan class, they could repaint him into that purple Lugnut version where he possessed, where they kind of like created clones where he was able to possess Omega Supreme or something.
That wasn't an episode.
Yeah, that was an episode where he actually they were actually able to make a lug nut with an Omega Supreme body with a lug nut face on it.
I don't remember that, but I'll have to look that one up and watch it
Yeah,
because I don't remember that. I mean, there's a lot
but
of
yeah,
good
that
questions here.
right. Yeah, that was a really good one. The other one that caught my eye is one that says are there plans for Beast Wars anniversary next year, and what would you most likely like to make for it? And his answer is, personally, I'd like to include some of the weirder, obscure Beast Wars guys like Injector, as well as some of the less obscure ones like Depth Charge, etc. So stay tuned. The vac metal metallics are a challenge in production nowadays. Still scratching my head on those.
Yeah, I mean, I love Beast Wars. Beast Wars, wow, Beast Wars is just an amazing series. It's
Hmm.
kind of a shame that it doesn't get as much love anymore.
Right. Yeah, I remember in the beginning I wasn't really a big fan of Beast Wars, but then eventually, the more I saw of it, the more I grew to enjoy it. So, but the but I would say I would love to get Depth Charge because he was one of my personal favorites. Plus, he was a manta ray,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
right? But on the topic of vac metal, like I don't know why he's bringing that up because we haven't had a vac metal transformer in a long time, and
Yeah, I
so
mean,
like
unless he
I don't know
wants
what
to
he
do it
yeah.
that way, I mean, that's the only possibility I can see.
Yeah, but wouldn't that take take up most of the budget if they do that? Make it vac metal.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
I
that would
know I'm
take
not a
up.
businessman, but you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why can't they just use like a special type of plastic that kind of emulates the shine of metal?
GPS.
Yeah, I suppose. But that's just. But yeah, like I would love a depth charge, a rampage, and And because those guys were my favorites, and maybe and that's the other figure I kind of want to see is a Transmetal Optimus Prime. I mean Primal.
Oh, right.
The one the surfboard.
Yeah. The Transmetal one. TM, yeah.
Yep.
The only Transmetal one there is, really.
Yeah. Shoot, even the Cheetor. Like I love that design.
Cheetor? Yeah.
Like Transmetal Cheetor, we had like the little rocket wings.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
So, is there another question that caught your eye?
I'm actually looking over them now.
So, okay, so while you're looking over those questions, I'll share another one that caught my eye.
Okay.
Was do you want to make Armada Jetfire, and what size class would he be? And his answer is he would have to be a commander to be able to attach to the Commander Armada Optimus we did. He would be pretty dope. I know Hasui-san wants him. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, heck, man. Hasui-san's not the only one that wants him. I would love to have Armada Jetfire again.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm surprised we haven't got him yet, because I was assuming once we had Armada Optimus Prime that he was gonna be the next in line and stuff. So I'm wondering if he's gonna be planned soon, because that's kind of the reason why I think we haven't had a repaint of Armada Optimus, because I've been holding off on buying Commander Armada Optimus Prime, because I kind of want him to be released with the final battle colors.
Oh, yeah.
The gray and red.
Yeah. Can't say that I don't have one, so.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, but
technically you have two, because I have the original Armada one.
Right. But yeah, going back to Jetfire, like he was a great design. Like I don't know how you're gonna put articulation with him, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll figure something out, but
right, because the thing is, not only has to have articulation for his robot mode, he's gonna have to have articulation for when he turns to a pair of pants for Armada Prime.
Yeah, for sure. Here's another one that caught my eye.
Right.
Will more Pretenders updates happen?
Yep,
Pretenders
that was another one
really
of mine.
Complicated nut to crack. Unfortunately, I know the scales were all over the place. Wasn't I just talking about that like yesterday?
Yeah, you did.
When we came up with merging the shells with the bots, some liked it, some didn't. I've got some concept I've thrown around for trying to really rebirth the shells to make sense. Not too shabby ideas, just gotta try to fit it in somehow.
Yeah.
There is that, Energon figure that, for like what, 2026, 2027 that we were talking about.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe they'll come back.
I don't know. Like I'm always open for it, but just my 2 cents, I think they should try to look into maybe making them as actual figures, the Pretender shells.
Yeah.
So that I just feel that might be the way to go, but
yeah, I feel though you might be kind of like also kind of digging into like what you would like to see.
Right. Of course, but it's just how do we implement it? I know it's just the whole brand is Transformers,
right?
But how do we implement that and still maintain what Pretenders are all about?
I mean, honestly, like I kind of liked the concept of merging the shell into the robot form.
Right.
Like I'm okay
like
with
integrated
that.
Integrated in some way.
What, the shell?
Yeah.
Well, just like the way it is now. Like they did with Legacy. I'm okay with that.
Oh, that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where the robot mode is the Pretender shell.
Yeah.
And the vehicle is what the robot mode was, or something to that effect.
Well, the vehicle mode would be the alt mode, wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant. They like that, and then the alt mode is based on what the robot mode turned into.
Right. Yeah, like I'm okay with what they did. Like I just want more, and I want them to be more consistent with the scale.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think that's kind of threw me off when it came to Skullgrin, because I wouldn't mind getting him, but it was just like you gave me these guys in this scale, and all of a sudden you give me these guys in that scale. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. I honestly, I feel like that's the only problem that there was with the Pretenders as far as what they did in Legacy. Like they
Right.
just needed to either stick to a certain scale or like be consistent on how the scales were. Like I was saying the other day,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Iguana should probably be deluxe because he was a deluxe, and so should Bombburst. But someone like
Right.
Stranglehold or Bludgeon were technically smaller pretenders in G1, so they would have been good as core class figures, at least in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I think they should just stuck with one class and stick, just stick with one scale.
Yeah.
And stuff, because that's just the way I want. I was cool with it. It's just I want some kind of consistency with the scales.
Yeah. Yeah.
So another question that kind of came to mind. It's above. It's above the ones you looked at into. It's called. Do you still want to do more Minicons? How will they be released? If so, and his answer is, we are figuring it out. I will say you won't be disappointed. Rise up, Armada fans.
Oh
So,
yeah. Awesome.
so like maybe because I remember when it came to the listing we saw in the last episode
Mm-hmm.
that which recorded yesterday that we kind of commented on. Yes, exactly. Maybe we could put a link somewhere. But anyways, I think we kind of mentioned that one of the listings mentioned about our minicons or something to that effect. So maybe
Yeah,
we
I'm
might
always
get a
down for more
pack.
Minicons. Like I like Minicons.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: were you able to get the modern take offerings of minicons, like Jolt or that figure that came with with damn, I forgot his name. Shattered Glass Sideswipe.
Well, I didn't get Shattered Glass Sideswipe. I'd like to get them, but I haven't gotten them yet. But I do have.
Right, because
I have. I have Jolt because I got what's his face Hotshot.
yeah, the Power Links Hotshot.
I got both versions.
Okay,
He's
so
a solid little figure.
yeah,
Yeah,
can he
the Hotshot.
do the minicon gimmick?
Well, no, because they don't have like the spring-loaded mechanisms.
Oh, my mistake. What I meant to say was like, can Jolt
Oh, it's still
port
attached.
somewhere? Yeah. Does he have
Yeah,
like
there's
a
an
5 mm?
point, like I think on the
Right.
spoiler, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Like, yes, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just curious if because I think that's one of the things I liked about minicons is that they can actually port somewhere around the body of the Transformer figure.
Yeah, yeah, I like that too. I think that's a pretty cool idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those are the questions that came to mind from that section. So is there any more that came to mind?
There's this one. I found it right as you were asking about the minicons. And it's like,
Right.
are the new combiners? Are all the new combiners going to have the frames? And this is a sore point for me. So let's see
Right.
where this goes. Mark says, perfect question here. I think what people aren't realizing here is the frame gives the ability of the combiners to pose and articulate like all our figures now do. You need powerful joints and ratchets for posing big figures, and honestly, the framework allows for those capabilities you didn't have before with the Combiner War attachments. The team is willing to bet on certain characters, which has been proven with Devastator, but honestly, it's all about the final look for me. If I could pose out Superion like a recent deluxe, and it feels sturdy, strong, and solid. If I can pose out Superion like a recent deluxe, and it feels sturdy, strong, and solid, you won't get those features doing a non-framed system.
We've had this talk several times over. My like I've said several times, I was okay with it for Metasaur. Uh, I I get what he's trying to say. He wants to make combiners more articulate, have the ability to articulate with the poses and stuff. But I'm cool with. I get what he's getting at. I'm trying my best to collect my thoughts so to make a clear, it's as clear as possible. I just feel maybe I'm old school, but when it comes to combiners, I kind of want like a less parts forming, if that's one thing. And like I'm trying to think what whole to describe it because like I kind of like the idea of the the limb bots being a limb and not have extra pieces to become the combiner because it doesn't feel like a combiner to some extent since the frame makes up a majority of the body.
Right.
So that's why I'm cool with Devastator since he is using extra parts to add that extra articulation. But the members of the Constructicons, they they still they still play a part in the combination. It's not the parts that make up the combination, but it's like the parts are like what, like
Right.
I'd
But
say 30%
I get what you're
of
saying.
Devastator.
But here's the thing.
I'm not defend. I want to make it clear. I'm not defending this comment. I'm just trying to see where he's coming from. But I still would like a like what's it? I want more of a compromise than for the frame to be the dominant thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, like Devastator is like a whole. Like honestly, like I feel like Devastator shouldn't even be part of this conversation because
Right.
Devastator has always been, for lack of a better term, an asymmetrical combiner.
Right.
Like you can't like move around his parts and it'll still work. You just can't do that. I mean, hell, his torso is made up of two different bots, so it's like you can't basically you can't scramble steady it.
Right.
Every other combiner you can. So I feel like Devastator shouldn't even be part of this conversation. And I'm not saying that because you brought him up. I'm saying that because I'm pretty sure you brought him up because Mark brought him up, right?
Well, the reason why I'm bringing up Devastator
Okay.
is the discussion of like the reason I look at the frame system as parts to to build the combiner with,
Right.
and so added parts. So when it comes to Devastator, he does have added parts, like the thought, that extra parts that the commander class is having. Like that turns to like an extra trailer for long haul. So
Right.
I feel the reason why. I mean, again, just my thoughts on it. I feel the parts like I'm gonna describe it like I feel the parts help the combiner, but it doesn't like take most of like it's not all of the combiner. If
I get
you
what you're saying.
yeah.
I get you.
So whereas
Basically,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yes,
didn't mean to cut you off.
right. But since I think you know what I'm getting at. So, but when it comes to Superion and Menasor, a majority of the frame makes up the combiner.
Right. Right. Which kind of leads along to what I was thinking of what you're saying, which is basically with Devastator. It's like you when you form at least a torso for Devastator, you're not building all of Devastator. You're only building the torso. Like you
Right.
still need like Bone Crusher and like Scrapper to like be the arms.
Right.
Like you're not gonna have like an arm without a Constructicon there. You're just gonna not have an arm.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to like Superior or Menasor, where like you're gonna have like basically, for lack of a better term, with the frame, you're gonna have the bones of a combiner no matter what.
Right.
Like you could buy Silver Bolt and you'll still have Superion in a sense.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean that's part of why I don't like the frame system also.
Right.
You know.
So, with with that said, I'm hoping that Bruticus kind of resolves it to some extent. Like maybe have like what I would like to see is a more of a compromise, like a marriage to some extent. Like maybe the frames only are since since Swindle and Brawl are the Voyager class, maybe they have parts to make up them being legs.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll have feet also, like
Right.
kind of attached to them somehow.
Right. So, and then maybe because and maybe when blast off and vortex, maybe they need the frame system, and like again, I'm just spitballing
Yeah.
what I assume might happen. So but that was my issue with the frame system. Like I was cool with it for Venusaur, since the design looked like that. So
Yeah.
but when I saw it for Superion, I was like, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. I mean, I think this all honestly, like, I feel like this all leads back to the whole Prime directive of like, well, this needs to be show accurate,
Right.
because honestly, like, Fleur Deary just kind of screwed us over in that sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the guy or anything, because
Right.
he did some great character designs for the show.
Yes.
But because of the way he designed the animation characters, it sort of dictates how the characters are being created now as far as the toys go.
Right.
And that kind of
it
irks
works
me a bit.
Yeah. Well, it worked for Venusaur, but I don't see it working for Bruticus, because like I remember when we talked about Vortex in a few episodes ago, like I already wasn't feeling how he would look like as an arm with the frame system.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, like if as we get more combiners going forward, and they try to like improve on this frame system, that maybe the newer ones might have less of the frame and have more of the limb bots being limbs.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Time will tell.
So, but anyways, the next question that caught my eye is on general toy questions.
Right.
And the one that caught my eye is, do you want to see more of the Izers in the future? Answer: yes. Personally, I would love Insecticonizers.
Okay.
So yeah, the thing is, like, I feel like the modulator system, which is what the question's referring to.
Yeah.
Like where the transformer the figure, he breaks into parts and then becomes like weapons and guns and armor for another figure. I feel they were running out of ideas as they release more versions of these Izers. But regardless of my feelings on how that subline went, I'm still open for new additions to it, like Insecticonizers. Like I am that sounds interesting, like the thought of having like all these little dangly legs and wings and shell pieces
Right.
all over another figure. So that's that kind of captures my imagination. So
yeah,
because like the last Izer we got was the armorizers, like where it was all rock formations, but I felt like they didn't explore the idea far enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like
because they only released like two deluxes and one core class, and the core class, like the core class, I didn't feel was a good enough weapon. So
do you mean characters or molds?
Molds.
Okay.
Because every figure, like they released one figure,
I know,
and then they did like
two characters.
They did a retool.
Yeah,
like, three characters
it.
almost.
Yeah,
they repainted it, retooled it.
That's why I asked what I asked, because I'm like,
right,
but
because like the other Izers we got, it was like three or two or stuff. So
yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm cool with the idea of Insecticonizers, whatever he said.
I don't know. I feel like he was kind of joking on that, but
Right.
yeah, I'm down for that too.
Yes.
Give us some more Insecticons. Give us some new Insecticons, for that matter.
Right.
I love it when they always have new characters.
Right. But at least we finished. Well, the Izers usually are the original character category to some extent.
Yeah.
And yeah, so another question that caught my eye was a general toy question.
Mm-hmm.
The other question that came to mind was, will future timeline figs be original designs or keep being based on past stuff like Hearts of Steel? And Mark's answer is, Evan Brooks always has good things up his sleeve. Stay tuned for those gems.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting.
Right.
That kind of leads into
Like,
like that list that we went over the other day.
right. My thoughts are if we can get Transtech in that line.
Well, speaking of Transtech, there's a question that
Yes.
caught my eye. Would
Right.
Transtech or Reactivate be things you'd be interested in doing as concept art figures? Yes, anything you think is cool. You know I'm right there with you. And I
Right.
mean, dude, like Transtech made it all the way to the prototype stages with like what 3 or 4 characters. So
Yep.
I'm totally
Ex-
down for that.
right. Right. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Like I don't know, man. Transtech has always been like that white whale
I
that
know, yeah.
that you see it, like you want it
And
and
you, and
stuff.
you, and you
So
kind of dream that you find like the prototype somewhere and you
yeah,
buy it.
prototypes or like if they released a toy that you have to get it just because like you're getting history.
Yeah, 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 totally.
So and let's see. Yeah, so like that's why I'm hoping that it comes in timelines and stuff, or wherever they place it, I'm all for it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and let's see. Another question that came to mind was, what other Hearts of Steel figs would you like to do? And Mark's answer is Shockwave immediately.
Shockwave. I think he's mentioning the wrong wave. He should be saying
He's
Soundwave.
uh I know that's what you would like to hear. Try not to sound snobbish, but it's just man, that Shockwave figure where he turned it
It was like
sounded
a
like
cannon.
a steamboat, like a
I thought he
steamboat.
was like a cannon. It was. Oh no, that was the Megatron, right?
Right, that was the Megatron. He turned into a cannon like with wheels,
Yeah.
and the wheels had like little guns in them. But Shockwave, for some reason, Guido Goody, he designed them to be a steamboat.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
And I'm trying to remember the name of the steamboat because it's a very popular one during the war, where it was like it was like a heavily armored steamboat
Uh huh.
where like where it had like it was made mostly of metal and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's almost like a submarine to a degree. But yeah, he's a great design. So I would love to see him in the made into toy form.
Yeah.
So any other question that caught your eye?
Uh. Yeah. There is. It
Mm-hmm.
is. Uh. Which one was? Hold on. I lost the place. Oh yes.
Right.
Here you go. Is the Liokaiser Rescue Force repaint something you'd be interested in? Of course.
uh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that'd be cool if they could release them at a cheaper price, if you ask me.
I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, like I don't know, man. Like when it comes to the Hasbro, what we call them, I can't believe I forgot the name of the Haslab. It
Uh huh.
was called.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to the Haslabs, the I would like it if they tried to like look into repaints for them, especially the older ones.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but I mean, it's also like there'd have to be the demand for it, you know?
Right. Yeah, I get you. So, but it's just off topic on the possibility of a Haslab because he mentioned the idea of doing the DJD, the
Yeah,
Decepticon Justice Division,
yeah,
and because the problem is with those guys is that they're as popular as they are, they're kind of obscure, and not only that, but some of the things they turn into are not very toyetic, like an
yeah,
electric chair or a sniper
yeah,
rifle. So just throwing my hat on with the idea of another Haslab. Maybe they could do the DJD, the Decepticon Justice Division.
yeah.
All the remaining members except Tarn.
Except Tarn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Tarn has already been made.
I know, I know, I know. I just
But
having a little fun.
anywho, the last the last question on my list that caught my eye is what is the one figure you most likely let me read that. What is the one figure you'd most like to make? And Mark's answer is it's all the way in the bottom.
Yeah,
Thunderwing,
yeah,
easily. And
yeah.
man, I so want it. I've been wanting a Thunderwing for a long time, especially the Stormbringer one. Now, you're not a fan of Stormbringer
No, I
Thunderwing?
didn't like it. I didn't like the design.
Ah, man, that was my design, dude. Like, I feel like he's a bit let me explain to you why he's like my design. Because like first off, I just love the fact he looked like a flaming skull. So that's one thing.
Okay.
I love this vehicle mode, but the thing, of course, the big thing that really, like just made me go like, you, dude, this is you're speaking my language, was the fact that he had like a brute mode, where the wings become like a protected, like a new breastplate. He extends his legs, and then the boosters that were his jet mode, or yes, his spaceship mode, they become gigantic arms with the boosters becoming claws, and the cockpit becomes the helmet. It's like he's like his own super mode.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it did. It hit me in the right spot.
Yeah.
So like I would love that guy. Like, and plus he was my favorite part of the Matrix quest from the Marvel Comics run.
Yeah, that was a good storyline.
Maybe that's where he'll show up.
But what's that?
Maybe that's where he'll show up if they continue the comics edition of Studio Series.
Yeah, maybe. That was kind of like the last question I was gonna read off, but like,
yeah,
since you already jumped the gun, I'm just gonna go back a little bit.
Right.
With the question is, Haslabs have been leaning towards Japanese characters or Japan characters. Is that intentional? And then Mark replies, Evan Brooks does those, and he's a big Japanese Transformers fan. Which kind of makes sense because we've gotten most of Victory by this point, thanks to Mark. I mean, to Evan.
Yeah, we're just missing Road Caesar and Landcross. Right. So I don't know. Like I could kind of see Road Caesar as a possible like mainline figure.
A mainline?
No, not a Haslab. I think he could be mainline, but he'll have to be baked in with other characters.
What do you mean by baked in with other characters?
Well, have their release those designs, but as other characters. Like maybe one could be Optimus, another one could be Prowl, and etc. Or maybe one of them could be Mirage, and then later on release it as those figures, as Blacker.
So basically, what you're saying is make them twofers, as you like to put it.
Yep, twofers.
Why couldn't you just say that?
I use the term. I remember Protoman. He usually calls the term baked in. But twofer. That's what I meant to say. Like maybe get twofers out of them.
Yeah.
Like
basically,
but start off
design them so that they can be retooled or at least repainted.
Right, retool. Yeah. So like maybe. Yeah, like get a twofer out of them and stuff.
Yeah.
So release him as the character that nobody wanted him to be.
Well, yeah.
And then later on.
That makes sense. And I don't know. It's been a while since we've had a Mirage. So yeah. Make Blaster Braver, Blaster Blacker. I don't know. I don't remember which one is which.
Right.
But yeah, make them like a Mirage and then the other one. Oh, actually.
The other ones could be Sunstreaker.
Is it not Joyride? What's the other one? Getaway? Not Getaway. Is it
Sure Shot.
No, not Sure Shot. No, it's a Power Master. I think it is Getaway.
Oh yeah, Getaway. Yeah, it was Getaway.
He could be
something Streak. I think Slam Dancer. Wait, it's like
no, that's one of the cassettes for Blaster.
Yeah, but yeah, like yeah.
And a
but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about make all the Autobot Power Masters.
No, not necessarily the Autobot Power Masters, but like. So, like, the one that's an F, like a racing car, could be a Mirage, right?
Right.
There's that red one. I think that's Braver. Like, he could be Joyride or be made into Joyride. And then there's, like a yellow Lamborghini. I think that's Laster.
Yeah, it was Blacker, Braver, and Laster.
Yeah. The Laster, I'm pretty sure, is the Lamborghini. And, like, I don't know. Make them use them to make
Sideswipe or Sunstreaker.
Too obvious. Like I'm trying to think of another Lamborghini. But yeah, you get the idea.
Right, I know what you're saying. Like someone who's like who mirrors that design or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Exactly.
Right, and as for Landcross, I can kind of see Landcross's main line, kind of going back to the twofer idea, but having the twofers be based on Energon figures. You know, like
Yeah. Because they
like Hot Shot.
yeah, they
Because
all
like remember
have that
that one could be the shirt and the other one could be the pants.
right. I want to say like Duocon or Duobot, but I guess we could go with that for now. Yeah,
Right.
because that's basically
But
what they are. Well,
right.
Energon they call it Power Linksing, but yeah, Landcross was the original guys that did that.
Right. They were the first.
So
So
yeah, that's a good
but
idea though. Yeah, have them do it
right.
like that. Oh, and you know what? Even you know what you could even
And
do
plus
is
yes.
make some of them either A Gobots or B original characters. You know, like
Right.
new original characters. So like, because like I know one of them, I forget the names. I think it's Wing, is like a space
Right.
shuttle, or is
Wing
that the
Raver or
jet?
something like while yeah, so like first off, I would say I see where you're coming from. Like maybe can do a three fur, like maybe the two fur. Like the first thing they could
Okay.
release was Energon, because uh, like since fans have been wanting Energon for a long time. So, and so then maybe once they do that, then they can release it as Landcross, and then if they want to get like a three fur, they can release the GoBots like you're suggesting. Let's see, so Transformers Victory, yeah. So like that's
Well, I'm
like
just thinking like
because like I think
I don't know about like
yes,
using it 3 times because there's only so many times you can get away with using like a space shuttle as different characters. You know, but like you
right,
make one from the Landcross team, and then like the repaint could be Spacey from GoBots.
or Jetfire, or was it no Skyfire? I think it was called at the time. Energon Skyfire.
No, but it's
So
literally a
it,
spaceship. Like there's literally a
right,
spaceship, and then you can use that as Spacey also.
right, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you're talking about
I mean, I
yeah.
get
I
what you're
think his name is
saying.
Wing.
I get what
Yes,
you're saying,
right,
but I'm like speaking specifically. Like I know there's a space shuttle in that team.
right. Yep.
So like, and like I said, there's only so many times you can get away with like repainting a space shuttle over and over again.
Right, right.
I mean, it could work with some characters, but
Yeah. Well, like I'm thinking that they like yeah, you're talking about Wing.
is it
So
Wing?
yep, I'm looking at the names right now. It's Wing. The three names are Wing, Waver, Dash,
Tackle
Tacker,
or tackle?
Mock, and Tackle.
Mach is the jet, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, wait. Let me phrase. Yeah, Wing is the jet.
Oh,
Mock is the
is the spaceship?
Mock is the space
Oh,
shuttle.
okay.
Because I remember Wing and Waver,
Yeah, they were.
they're kind of like they
Yeah,
were kind of like the leader of the group.
right.
The I would say uh, Mock and Tackle, they were kind of like the cool member of the group, which is like kind of like my theory when it comes to the combiner teams. Like there's one character is the leader, and the other one's the cool member of the group, and then there's everybody else. So,
Yeah, yeah,
like I could point out who's the cool member of the group with each of the what do you call it, the Scramble City guys. So
yeah,
like Bruticus, okay, is Onslaught, but the cool member of the group is Swindle.
yeah. Well, because Onslaught is the nerd. He's like the
Right,
OCD nerd.
right, exactly. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, like your theory about Spacey and out of mock, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that could work. You know, I mean, and
Yeah.
then like Wave, uh, no Wing.
Yes. Wayne could be leader one.
Exactly. Just for you, Rob. Just for
Right.
you.
Yep. I need to get my leader one in the Transformer line
Exactly.
some way.
Exactly. And
So Waver's gonna be the tough one because
he's a boat.
like yeah, he's a boat. Well, like who do we know that's a boat in GoBots?
Man of War.
Manowar? Manowar. Is he the Manowar? Is he the one that's like a boat plane or something?
Um,
Because I'm thinking about that plane. You know that plane that had like these where it
no,
has like
no, not
pontoons.
him. Not him. Um, hold on.
Yeah, but like for me, I kind of would like Like,
I mean,
yeah. Oh, Man of War. Okay, okay. Wait. Oh, I'm only. Damn it! I can only see like the Gobot, the Transformer version. So, but let's see. Oh, him,
yeah, I got it.
him. Yeah. Though personally,
I mean, granted,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I see it.
he's like a battleship, but I mean,
Right,
in the fan club they made him out of sea spray,
right. So you think he should have those
which was pretty
colors?
cool. I mean,
The,
I don't
do
think you
you
should
think
have
he
these
should be
colors.
those blues colors?
Then again, wait a sec.
But
Okay, maybe not Man of War, but he was definitely like a Gobot. Because you asked me for
yeah,
a boat Gobot. He's a boat Gobot.
right,
But if they're gonna
right,
do sea spray eventually, I want my repaint out of this. Like I want this
right.
as a repaint.
Yeah. So, well, my opinion on who the boat should be, and granted he's not a boat, but he isn't a water vehicle, is
Uh huh.
the submarine Gobot.
Oh, dive.
I
That's
forgot.
another good
Yeah, I
option.
forgot his name. Yeah,
Yeah.
granted he's not a boat, but because I'm also thinking about color, because like if Wave was gray, if you paint Wave, I mean, well, no, not Wave, Wing. If you paint Wing as leader one,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be gray when he combines with his pants. When he, like, just collecting my thoughts because I think I'm kind of lost my train of thought. Like
Yeah. Don't
if
trip over your
Wing,
thoughts now.
yes, if Wing, they repainted him as leader one, the whole body's gonna be gray. So when he combines as a pair as a shirt, the shirt's gonna be gray. So it'll be kind of cool if the boat who turns into his pants could be blue. So he so that kind of makes like a nice color coordination. So
Yeah.
if you lost me, I understand.
Then again, you know what?
Mhm.
With this sea spray body, maybe we can make it a three fur with Man of War.
Oh, now you want three first.
I mean, I'm not saying you
Okay,
shouldn't,
go
but
ahead. Yeah, but go ahead. Yes.
I mean, no. Then
So
again,
you
you know
want
what? We need the boat. No, yeah, we'll go with dive for from the Landcross team.
right?
We'll go with dive. I like him. I had him as a kid actually. He was kind of cool.
Yeah, I still have my. Oh yeah, dive. Yeah, like, but I think we kind of going through a GoBot discussion. So, but like, not through Landcross, but I would like as far there's this I have a list of which GoBots I would love to see created in the Transformers line, and one of them is Dive. The other one is I forgot his name. Tux the limo.
Tux. Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd have to be
I
a
think
black
that's his
limo though.
name.
I didn't
Tux
like that it was a white
TUX.
limo. What's that?
I'm cool with you know what it is. I'm just cool with him being a limo. That's just my stance.
I mean, no, yeah, I know. I like that too. I'm just saying, like, the toy was white. Like, why not make him a black limo? That way, he's got a black top hat on, and like it looks like he's wearing a suit. You know, like,
Yeah, because he actually had a top hat.
yeah, it was crazy. I mean,
He
crazy
was
in a
an
good way. I
awesome
loved it.
design. Yeah, he was
But you
he
know,
was an
just
awesome design
yeah,
because I love the fact that his fender pretty much makes the skirt for his robot mode.
yeah, yeah,
I'm talking about Tux, but yeah, like I had a dive.
yeah. Dive was cool.
Yeah, and the
I like
funny thing
this.
is, whenever I, yes,
Cool piece of fan art.
yeah, like when I had him as a kid, and
Mhm.
I had like I transform when I converted him into his submarine mode, and like technically everybody was like a vehicle, like a plane, and he's like a submarine, and I always pretended that the propeller is strong enough that he can actually fly with it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see.
Yes, but Landcross,
Check
yeah,
out
he was one of my
Landcross here.
favorites.
We'll just go to the wiki.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
So how much more
There's
time do we have?
Spacey.
Because
Oh,
yeah.
you know what? This red car, this could be
Mm-hmm.
Turbo.
Yep, that could be Turbo.
Turbo. boat. That could be dive. Crap, I forgot who is
Yeah,
in top half. Oh wait, here we go.
it's wing. It's wing. The jet.
Oh, the jet is in
It's the
top half.
jet
You're
bot.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I own the
That'd be
figure,
leader
so
one. That makes sense. Leader one would form the head.
yep. And then you already said Spacey, so die.
Yeah.
So then the last two is the what we call it, the wagon and the tank. So
I thought it was like a dump truck.
yeah, well, it's more like it's more like a wagon. So I would say Lightfoot.
Sure.
Yeah, because the thing is, I own the figure, so
Okay.
yeah. So it could be Lightfoot. But who will be the tank?
Blaster.
Okay, I'll take that. But for some reason, my headspace, I was thinking about maybe making it to Scooter.
Ew, no. Scooter should just stay
Yeah.
Scooter because he's lame.
Yeah, but that's the reason why. Like Scooter just can't take it anymore, so he went to the gym and built up some more muscle mass. He's like, I had it with you guys.
Aside from
I'm
being
not.
voiced by Frank Welker, Scooter would never be cool.
No, he was my favorite for being. He was a favorite of mine when I was a kid
Yeah.
for being such a
Scooter was fun.
goofball.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a cool
but yes.
custom. You see
Mhm.
this? That's a really
Yep,
cool
I'm
custom.
seeing it.
That's OP
Yep,
Vinyl
yep.
Wars too.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah. Too
That's
bad
cool.
we couldn't make like a 6-man combination. So
Yeah, I know. As we'll get on that.
right, but yeah, that's so. Again, when it comes to the victory figures, I can see the remaining ones being retail, like kind of like what they did with Dino King.
Yeah, where like the
'Cause, you know-
Volcanicus was the retail and then Dino King was just like a Pulse exclusive.
Right. So like I
like
could
that.
see that with the other figures
Yeah.
for Road Caesar and Road Caesar and Landcross. It's just,
Yeah,
I couldn't see it. Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, right? So like they're all Gobots
Mhm.
for the retail version.
Yes.
And they form Courageous.
Okay. Yeah, I could. Yeah. So you're thinking maybe the head should be the red cone or something?
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Right. Well,
Red cone. I mean,
that's
I'm laughing because it's funny.
he is a cone
in a
head.
cool
I mean,
way.
technically, it is a cone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get it. I get why you're saying that. That's why I'm laughing because
Right.
it's true. Like it looks like a cone.
Yeah. Like but I'm just gonna throw another idea just for the heck of it.
Okay.
Maybe it could be you remember Gobots, that their spaceship was like kind of like a walker.
The command center, yeah, we
Yeah, the
got one
command
at Museum of
center?
Nostalgia at 3127 31st Street, Story, New York.
Yeah.
Come on
And
down.
if you remember when he had his base mode, that the cockpit of the command center turned to this weird funky head.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe that should be the head for this figure. For this
No,
this
give him the
Landcross.
cone head, make him courageous.
No, call him the command center. Like that's just my opinion.
No, sorry, I respectfully disagree.
Sure, you could disagree on this idea could.
All right, there in YouTube land, you guys watching, what do you think? Should we name him Courageous, or should we name him Command Center and give him the stupid, surprised look face that the Command Center has, or the cool coon head of Courageous, the Courageous Gobot? Leave your comments down below.
You know what? I don't even have to I don't even have to promote it as much as you are because it's so awesome. It can promote itself.
Now you're just being arrogant.
I'm not being arrogant. I'm being honest on how awesome that command center face is. You know, the face.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, like that's my opinion. Like,
Look at that. Look at his goofy face. He's totally surprised. Look at that. He has no idea what's going on. All he knows is that there's a bunch of Gobots crawling around inside of him. That is not a cool face.
You know what? Speaking of twofers and stuff, maybe how about this? How about this? Maybe they should try to find a way to release Grandis as a maybe like a Titan class. I don't know if you're seeing where I'm getting through at that. When they release Grandis, that if they want to get a twofer out of them, they'll have them come back as the Gobot command center.
Now you're just trolling me. All right, that's it. We're done with this list anyway. So
yes.
And it's about.
But yeah, I would love. But seriously, on the subject of Courageous, I would love it if they find a way to get Courageous somewhere out there. Like maybe just throwing my 2 cents in, maybe those armored suits could be pretender shells if they make a twofer. You see what I'm getting at?
That's a possibility. I don't know,
because they are shells to some extent.
I mean, I kind of like my idea. Make them repaints of the Landcross team, or retools of the Landcross team, and then just make them form Courageous. No power suits necessary, so then that way they also make Landcross.
Yeah, but you know what would be kind of funny? If they do plan to do a Courageous combiner, it won't be based on the Landcross team. It'll probably be based on Superion with the frame system.
Oh God! Now I know.
Which, well, it kind of makes, it kind of makes. Now let me go by this discussion.
Stupid.
It kind of makes sense.
This is Courageous is clearly combiner war Superion.
But think about it. It makes perfect sense.
You're just trolling me.
It makes perfect sense because technically he needs Gobots to fill up those the empty bits, just like the frame system.
What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below.
Yes, but anyways, but in any case, tomorrow there's going to be the Hasbro Pulse thing live stream.
That's right.
And we've seen some pictures of what's to be expected, and I'm trying my best to hold my breath for tomorrow's episode.
Yeah,
special episode for the live stream.
I kind of want to talk about it now because there are some pictures out there and whatnot.
Yeah, you got time? Because we're already hitting that hour. 10 minutes? Okay, so just give a
little bit less than 10 minutes.
Lightning round.
On this new stuff?
Mm-hmm.
No, not enough time.
Yep.
Not enough time.
We'll save it for tomorrow,
Save it for tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Have a good day. Just have a great day. And just remember, always be excellent to each other. And fight the power. Bye.
Take care.
The Transformers.